All right, let's get
Ice cream!
Rupert?
Ice cream, please!
Where are you going? What's going on?
Can I have some ice cream?
Well, you can't get ice cream if you don't stay here.
Okay, I want ice cream.
Okay, what happened to the watermelon ice cream we made?
I ate it.
You ate it?
It was yummy.
All of it?
All of it.
Oh,
It was very yummy.
Yeah.
Can I have some ice cream?
I guess so, but you know, after eating an entire container of watermelon ice cream, I think that you need some ice cream with something really natural in it.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of orange sherbet?
Sherbet?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, sherbet is a frozen treat, and it's made with orange juice, but it's also very creamy, just like ice cream.
Creamy. Ice cream sherbet.
Yeah, so we are going to make...
Orange.
We are going to make a...
Yum.
We are going to make a 3-ingredient orange sherbet.
You're expecting me to interrupt you again, didn't you?
I never know what to expect from you. And the first ingredient for orange sherbet is, of course...
Orange juice!
Orange juice.
It's not just for breakfast anymore!
Nope. So you can juice just oranges if you want to. I find that when you make your own orange juice, sometimes the oranges aren't as sweet. So I like to get the bottled orange juice for a recipe just because you know exactly what it's going to taste like. So we are going to use 2 cups of no pulp orange juice. So make sure you get it without the pulp because otherwise you'll have to strain it.
Yeah. You don't want grapefruit juice either.
You don't want grapefruit juice. Oh, you probably could make a grapefruit sherbet. You can make this. Yep, this recipe works with any sort of fruit juice you want to. Just make sure that it doesn't have any pulp or any seeds or anything that will interfere with it while you're spinning it in the ice cream machine.
Chili.
Exactly.
No watermelons.
You could use watermelon, but no watermelon. Watermelon juice.
You just see this once.
Yep. So 2 cups of
I remember
orange.
that from last time.
So 2 cups of orange juice.
Key.
Our second ingredient is...
It's the whipping cream we used last time.
That's right. Now you can use milk or half and half for this recipe, but I find it makes it a really icy, thin sherbet. So I like to use whole cream, whipping cream, but you, like I said, you can adjust that to whatever you want. The only thing is you don't want to use non-fat milk because the fat is what gives this recipe its creaminess. So we are going to use 1 cup of heavy whipping cream or the milk of your choice.
Okay, 1 cup.
1 cup.
1 cup.
1.
1!
And our final ingredient is...
I can't see what's in this. It's sugar!
It's sugar!
Can I have it?
Well, if you eat it now, you won't be able to have it in the sherbet.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay. We are going to use 1 cup of granulated sugar. If you're worried about it dissolving, if you're putting this into something other than orange juice in which it'll dissolve really well, you might want to use superfine sugar, but I find granulated sugar works just fine. It's just 1 cup. I'm going to start out by measuring out 2 cups of orange juice. Now you could squeeze fresh oranges for this. If you do, make sure that you remove the pulp. This is orange juice that comes without pulp. And also taste it, make sure that the orange juice is nice and sweet. The reason I like to get the bottled orange juice is just because it's already been tested and it all pretty much tastes the same if you are used to a particular kind. Now to this ice cold orange juice, I am going to add 1 cup of sugar. And I'm going to try to dissolve this as best I can. Now of course we have a cold liquid and about half that amount in pure sugar, so some of it may settle right back down to the bottom. That's not really a big concern of mine because when I put this into the ice cream maker, this is going to mix for quite a while, so it will all eventually mix together. But you want to try to get this as incorporated as you can. Okay, I have an ice cream maker. This recipe does work best in an ice cream maker. If you don't happen to have one, you can use a pan. Just put the pan into the freezer for an hour. A metal pan works best. You can just pour your mixture directly into the pan and then put it in the freezer. Every hour, take a fork and just run it through the mixture until you fluff it up. That's basically the same way that you would make what's called a granita, only a granita just has fruit juice while a sherbet has this whole mixture. I'm going to turn on my ice cream maker. I just gave my orange juice 1 more stir before I pouring this in. Make sure that all of the sugar gets in there as well. it dissolved pretty well. And now to this, I am going to add 1 cup of cream. I would not recommend mixing the cream and the orange juice before you put it into your ice cream maker. Even though everything should go in ice cold, if you happen to let it sit without getting any colder, the milk and the orange juice, the citrus in the orange juice, the acid for that is going to curdle, and that's not going to make for anything that tastes really good. So this is just going to mix together in my ice cream maker for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll know that it's ready to come out when the ice cream maker sounds like it's struggling a little bit and everything has really firmed up quite a bit. So I'm just going to let this do its thing, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like before it goes back into the freezer to firm up. Okay, this has been churning for about 20 minutes. And usually with ice cream machines you can tell it starts sounding a little bit different when the ice cream is mixed, but you also just want to make sure that you pay attention too, because you can definitely overmix an ice cream. Usually in these smaller machines it's not as easy to do, but you can actually turn the cream into butter if you let it churn for too long, and then it's not very good. Now our sherbet, like any other ice cream, is going to be very soft when it's done churning. What you have to do is then immediately transfer your ice cream, or your sherbet in this case, into a container. And just like ice cream, with sherbet you want to fill whatever container you have up to the very top so that the top of your container actually touches the ice cream. Now if you don't have enough, if your container's too large, then you can always put plastic wrap over the top of it. What that does is it prevents ice crystals from getting onto the top. The worst thing for ice cream is actually air, so you want to make sure that everything is as airtight as possible. I'm going to put this into the freezer. You can freeze it for several hours or overnight just so that it is in a scoopable format. But that's it, you're done and you have made some homemade orange sherbet. Okay, this is out of the freezer and it has hardened up really nicely. So it's not as soft as it was when it came out of the ice cream maker. Now if it gets too hard in the freezer, you can always just leave it out for a few minutes, but don't let it get too soft. You want it to hold that nice texture that you get. Now you'll notice that this isn't a deep orange color like you'll see in store-bought sherbet. If you want to, you can always add in some food coloring, but this is a 3-ingredient recipe and you really don't need it. It doesn't affect the taste at all. Let's see how Rupert likes it. What do you think? Yeah.
Creamy. Orangey.
Orangey.
I can eat the whole container.
Well, let's finish this up and then maybe we can give you a bowl or two of this. We're gonna go slowly with this one since you ate all the watermelon ice cream so quickly. So if you've never had sherbet before, it's very creamy, but it's also very fresh. Even though it's made with whipping cream, it's much lighter than ice cream. It doesn't really taste as fatty or anything. It's a perfect summer treat. It's great for those hot summer days. And you can also put it into things like sherbet coolers. You could even put some of this into a big punch bowl with some ginger ale, and that's a lovely orange punch. This is really great. If you try this recipe, you'll never buy store-bought sherbet again. It's really, really easy to make, and it's really delicious.
Yum.
That was a lot of sherbet. I think that maybe we shouldn't have eaten the whole container all at once.
Oh, we can make some more though.
I've got a sherbet headache.
Oh.
Well, what would we make sherbet out of? We already did orange. What could we do it out of next time?
Strawberry?
Strawberries!
Strawberry!
Strawberries!
Strawberries!
Yep, so if you want to make a sherbet out of any other type of fruit, just make sure that it's a fruit that you can juice, and make sure that you've got clear juice, and you can make your own sherbet. It's really easy to do. Did you like making sherbet with me today?
Yeah!
What can people do if they liked hanging out with us today?
They can comment down below.
If you leave a comment down below, you can let us know what you would like us to make. In fact, this episode was brought to us by Cricket. She has a channel called Cooking with Cricket, in which she makes really great down-home type of recipes, and I'm going to leave her channel link down below.
Jiminy Crickets.
Yeah, although we haven't made anything with crickets yet.
Oh.
Nope. What else can people do?
They're crunchy.
They're crunchy. Mm. What else can people do?
They can share.
They can share. That's one of the most important things you can do with this. If you share this video on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, send it in an email to your friends. That way we get more people watching these recipes and we have more people to tell us what kind of recipes they want to see. And you can also subscribe.
Subscribe!
There are a lot of things going on in this...
Subscribe!
Exactly. There is a lot of things going on with this channel. We have George. You know George.
Yeah, I know George.
Yep.
You're pointing at me. My name is Rupert.
Oh yeah, this is Rupert the pig, but George is a cat, and he talks about good
He
talks about good self-esteem.
Yeah.
We also have Sullivan Spaniel.
Sullivan Spaniel.
He wants to get famous.
Yeah.
And we
is
have
he ever going to?
Well, you know.
Okay.
Okay. And then we have another series that's coming up very soon that we are just building some friends for, and we do live streams every Monday night. So why not subscribe and keep up with everything we do?
Yay!
So let's figure out what kind of juice we can get, and we will make another big thing of sherbet.
Pineapple!
Pineapple! That sounds great. Thanks so much for joining us this time.
Bye-bye.
See you again next time.
Bye!
So the first ingredient for orange sherbet is
Orange juice!
orange juice. Now you can
Not just for breakfast.
Not just for breakfast. Now you can use
What?
oranges. You can use oranges. One more time. So the first ingredient for orange sherbet is
Orange juice!
orange juice.
It's not for breakfast. It's not just for breakfast. I mean, that's my blooper.
Okay.